Yes, it's always a pleasure to come your way. My name is Osayin Yaku Emmanuel, Publication Director of the Harmonious Chorale, and this is the first of series of programs that we promised you we were going to bring your way. Today is the story of Harmonious Chorale Part 1. We are coming live from the studios of DivineMediaHD. Today, 31st August 2021, last day of the month if you are in this part of the world, and if you are in China, New Zealand, Australia, happy new month. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, but please kindly share the link to your friends and family. Tell them Harmonious Chorale is in the house. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the studios of Divine Media HD. If you just joined us, we are having our first of 15 to 15. Last July, we launched 15 months of 15 activities to celebrate our 15th anniversary. This might be tongue twisting, but don't get it confused. 15 months of 15 activities to celebrate our 15th anniversary. Oh. So from now, this month of August to next year, October, we are having one event per month to mark our 15th anniversary. And it's only Harmonious Chorale that can bring you this. If you have just joined us, you've been enjoying wonderful music from the past, because today's program is dubbed The Story of HC Part 1. And I'm not here alone. I have here with me some wonderful gentlemen. They know much about Harmonious Chorale. Some joined before I did, and then we are coming to discuss the beginnings, how it is like. And if you're at home and you also remember anything about Harmonious Chorale, your fond memories right from back in the day, kindly comment either on Facebook or YouTube. We are going to read that comment for you. So by way of introduction, to my immediate left, I have with me Mr. Ebenezer Fletcher Brock.
You have to get it right.
Yes, I have to get it right. So welcome, Eben.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yes.
It's been one of those times that you're a member of Harmonious Chorale, but something will take you away, and then we don't see each other that much. Coronavirus, social distancing, a whole lot. So it's a good time to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes. And then to my far left, I have with me Mr. Isaac Mensah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, welcome, Papa Ike. That's how I call him, Papa Ike.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So,
Uncle Ima.
So if you see me do what I do in Harmonious Chorale, I must say it has got something to do with what this man did to me back in 2011. I will tell you more about that. So we had to discuss the beginnings of Harmonious Chorale. So shortly, tell me, Eben, when did you join Harmonious Chorale?
I joined August 2011.
August 2011.
Right out of it was the creation.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Wow. So Harmonious Chorale started as a quartet in 2005, and it became a chorale in 2007. And I think 4 years afterwards, you joined.
I joined.
Wow. Just four?
Just four.
Just four.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I'm still a baby in the choir.
Yeah. And Papa Ike, how about you?
Yeah, somewhere 2008. Yes.
Wow.
As I keep saying, I had just written a letter to my church choir to exempt me from activities because I was going to read another course, so I wasn't going to be free.
Okay.
And little did I know that I was going to be busier than even I thought. Yeah. In Harmonious Chorale. So around 2008.
Okay, great. So from that angle, knowing that you were going to be busy, but yet something pushed you to join Harmonious Chorale. What made you decide to join Harmonious Chorale at that point in time?
Okay, so the whole point is that I met Ama James. Yeah, in Tema. I think at that time he had come to Tema.
Okay.
But I had not really met him that much. So we met, and then he was like, there's this choir that he would like me to just come and visit. Okay. And when I came around, I realized that the atmosphere was different. Yeah, I don't know. It was different from everything I knew. And if I should add something off the books or something funny, the first day I came, I mean, it was like after the rehearsal, there was more like a buffet.
Okay.
I mean, there was food. Not just food, but like, this is food.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you guys doing here? Is it just rehearsal or what? So coupled with the fact that I saw a lot of excellence, like, it wasn't the usual singing I knew.
Okay.
So I was like, I wanted to know more, learn more, and then see more of that,
Okay. I want to stay with you for some time. You did say Tema.
Yes, right? Tema.
It means Harmonious Chorale started in Tema. Wow. If I'm not mistaken, was it Community 10?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Yes.
10.
So viewers, if you don't know, Harmonious Chorale Ghana started in Tema. The first rehearsal for Harmonious Chorale was in Tema. Interesting. So Eben, how about you? What made you join the choir? How did you get to know about Harmonious Chorale, and what made you join the choir?
Okay, my dad listened to the quartet. He had a CD from the quartet.
Okay.
Some time back, so we listened to that in the car, and until I was told it was a quartet. I thought it was a full choir.
Wow.
Choir singing.
Yeah.
And we had to have performed in, I believe, Akama Conference Center.
Okay.
Which is not far from my house.
Okay.
So I went there with my family, enjoyed the music, and I met a few friends there from back in from my time in boarding school at Kusum International School.
Okay.
That's Kofi Tamaklo and Albert Yankson. He was there. Because I think it was the principal organizer.
Yeah, Albert, yeah.
So I spoke to them and they were like, yo, you have to join, I was like, we'll see. Okay, so I think a few months later, the choir then performed at the general overseer of my church.
Okay.
At Ringway. It's 85th birthday. And funny enough, it's his 95th birthday. We're celebrating that birthday 95 years this month.
Wow.
He's still alive.
Wow.
Yes. And they performed, the performance was fantastic.
Okay.
It was second to none. I mean, I heard choir sing, and I was like, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Again, Kofi was like, why not join? I didn't listen, and then I watched the creation. I was like, you know what, just come and see creation.
Okay.
International Theatre, I remember I paid 50 CDs, I believe, no, 20 CDs at the time.
Yeah.
I paid 20 CDs, went to National Theatre, enjoyed creation. It was out of this world.
Wow.
Watching them, seeing how they were singing, the organist playing, I think about 4 or 5 organists were on display at the time. It was fantastic. Then I was like, you know what, I need to check this choir out.
Okay.
So I spoke to Albert. I was like, okay, yeah, come through. Then it was at Auntie Joyce's place at Aberdeen.
Okay.
Then I went there. It was the first rehearsal. I think we were recording a few Catholic hymns for Sunny FM at the time.
Okay.
Then the next rehearsal was at Southern Light Ministries, not
the former office.
Former office.
Yeah.
Close to
Jolu.
South Jolu. What's that restaurant's name?
There's a restaurant over there. Perfect Touch.
Perfect Touch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Ashford building. Yeah.
Ashford building, exactly. Yeah. So I went there, and I remember when I was introduced. James. Okay, so James was like, okay, we have a new guy here, so he should introduce himself. Then I got up and then I introduced myself. I remember our part leader,
single attached,
stage part leader, Lawrence Colley,
yeah.
Just was like, hey. He fell off his seat. It was
it's natural.
Yeah, and that was it. That's when I joined the choir.
Yeah.
2011. Yeah, I remember that part. That was really good.
Great. Papa, I did talk about the excellence. That's what pushed you to join the choir.
Exactly.
And you also spoke about your father buying the quartet CD, and you even didn't know it was just 4 voices. And bringing these things together, I think that sets the foundation for Harmonious Chorale. At the very introduction of Harmonious Chorale, we were distinguished. We decided to be set apart, not to do that which was normal, because to have just 4 voices producing that quality sound. And you know, the songs were familiar hymns, but then different tunes.
Yeah.
Yet you will love it. And that is how a genius, the founder, James Barikama, is. Yeah. So I think that's what sets the tone for us. And going back a bit to the quartet I think first met in his house at Tantra Hill, because I think by then he was probably the organist for St. John's church choir. I mean, digging in the stories, because we want our audience to really get to know the story of Harmonious Chorale. So just to land on the very, very beginnings, currently Harmonious Chorale, we can boast of 12 albums, 12 recorded albums. That's a lot. Yeah. Choir of
God has been good.
14 years, 12 albums. And then the last album has been probably more than 5 years. So it means right from the beginning, almost every year we were producing an album. And that's just fantastic. Yes, many musicians don't even have that to their credit, but Harmonious Chorale, we have that to our credit. 12 wonderful albums. And the very first one, then again, was launched in Tema, 2008. It was launched in Tema, and that's Makuma Swadie. And that was just beautiful. And then the very first program, concert, that Harmonious Chorale participated in, I believe it's the offshoot of An Evening with the Composer series. I don't know if any of you remember the composer that we celebrated first through Southern Lights Music Ministries. Papa, do you remember?
I know GY, but I don't know whether GY was the first.
Yes, that's correct.
GY, right? Yeah. GY. I just joined the choir actually, so
okay.
In fact, most of the songs I had to rush myself through to learn them. I mean,
yeah.
And it wasn't easy. Just not learning, but this choir was a choir of excellence, so you just don't need to just learn, but be there.
Yeah.
And I really had some heat trying to catch up. Yeah.
So the very first concert that the choir did was an evening with Professor Sechibedu. If I remember from the footage, this should be at the British Council Hall. Yes, the British Council Hall. So guys, now if we are filling the Conference Center National Theatre, we started very small. So do not despise humble beginnings. I think now we just want to go and see a footage of that video, an evening with Professor J.Y. Sechibedu. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Medina.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is the story of Harmonious Chorale Part 1, and it's part of the 15 to 15 activities that we are doing to celebrate our 15th anniversary next October. And today is a special day. It's a convocation of administrators. We have just been joined by our current administrator, Madam Lena Otri. Welcome, Auntie Lena, as I affectionately call her.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and we're just talking about the video that was playing. I think this was the moment that you joined Harmonious Chorale, because we can see you in the video. We can see some cute lady with a beautiful smile singing. So tell us fond memories about this video, and then you can also tell us when you joined Harmonious Chorale and the first experience.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, and a very good evening to our listeners and those watching us as well. This video indeed brings fond memories. This was the project that brought me into Harmonious Chorale, and this was way back in 2008, the first evening project. That was an evening with Professor Sechibedu. I remember my first time with the choir, the first time I went to Mommy's house. I stood at the gate as soon as I entered because I was late, and the choir was already having a rehearsal. I stood there for 5 to 10 minutes. Initially, I thought that a CD was being played somewhat. And then as I approached, the rehearsal spot, I realized that everybody was busy, so I was so ashamed that I was late. That was my first experience. Yeah. Typical me, we'll go for choir rehearsals. When they say the time is 2, we get there at 2:30 thinking that it will start at 3.
Yeah.
But Harmonious Chorale had started.
Yeah.
And then I was welcomed and I joined the altars. For 15 to 20 minutes, I couldn't sing at all. I had the score in front of me, but I was afraid that I will spoil the voice production. My voice could just not fit in at that time. I knew that I was in a totally different place. And it was such an experience. I was in awe. I mean, wow. I was enjoying the music. At the same time, I was supposed to take part. Before I realized 3 songs had been done. Wow. And I hadn't even learned one.
Wow.
Yes, that was where I found myself, and I'm like, I needed to put my acts together. I actually thought I was the champion wherever I was coming from. When I got there, I knew that I knew nothing.
Okay.
That was my first experience with Harmonious Chorale.
So how did you hear about Harmonious Chorale, and how did you get invited or join?
Okay, so I had heard of Harmonious Quartet.
Okay.
I had heard the CDs, the angelic voices.
Yeah.
And then at one of our rehearsals at Accra Diocesan Choir, that was when Professor Sichibedu approached me and then spoke about the project.
Okay.
And at that time, he said he wanted me to come and augment the altars.
Okay.
And so I actually thought it was just that project that was bringing me to Harmonious Chorale. After that, I was done.
Yeah.
Then I realized that, hey, I wanted to stay.
Okay.
I needed to stay.
Okay.
I had to do everything to stay.
Great.
And to the glory of God, I stayed.
Wow, that's interesting. We did speak about the first album launch, that is Makoma Soadia in Tema 2008, and then Yedahotin Kwem, an evening with Professor Sichibedu, also in 2008. And there has been several evenings with the composer series. Unfortunately, we can't show you all the videos because we've done this about 12 times, 12 composers, 12 nights with composers, but 13 composers, because at one point in time we had to do two in one composers. So we can't show you all of them, but then we have lots of videos for you to see. And as we run through the stories, you'll be able to reminisce. For those who were with us from the beginning, you reminisce those moments. Those who are Latter-day Saints, you get to know about the story of Harmonious Chorale. Now, in 2010, 2 things did happen. The first one was Adoration 1 album launch. And interestingly, my sources tell me that it was launched on the day that Azerbaijan scored the penalty. So if you can look for that date, that was the date Harmonious Chorale launched the first Adoration 1. Yes, and that album did so marvelously well. And that's where my story comes in. The same 2010, the album was launched in Kumasi. So I was doing my national service in Kumasi. And my friend Prince Frimpon, yes, now in Canada, he was my mate from secondary school. He knew I liked doing work. Just any work I would do it. So he invited me to come help sell CDs. So I was outside, seated by a table, minding my business. I know this is 5 CDs, and it's over there. We've packaged them. Then the singing was going on. And I don't know who was singing. I don't remember because I wasn't a member of the choir. But a song was being sung. And the solo, that portion, the moment I heard that voice, this is how it happened. I jumped from my seat, scaled the table without touching the table, just to see what was going on.
You're up for Olympics.
Yes. And that's when I fell in love with Harmonious Chorale. Then after national service, I came to Accra. 28th November 2010, I joined Harmonious Chorale.
Wonderful.
Great.
Yes, so that's the story. Everybody has something to remember, and it's always about the excellence that attracts the excellence. So this is what we are telling the world. If you are starting anything, no matter how small it is, just put in your all, and then you are going to attract the much needed talent. We thank God for his grace and mercies towards us. Then in the same 2010, we did an evening with New Love Annan. That event, I wasn't. Yes, I wasn't yet in the choir. I don't know, but I saw footages. The whole National Theatre was full. The whole National Theatre was full. I saw those images. I don't know if Papa Ike, you have any memories of that event, and evening with Nilab Anand.
Yes. I mean, it brings back fond memories.
Okay.
Those were the days as Leon was saying, you know, I'm part of the choir and I'm singing, but most of the time I'm lost in listening to the music itself, like, you know, and it was really powerful. Okay. We raised the bar, like, it was the ordinary songs we sing and all that, but we raised the bar in terms of everything, and James was a perfectionist, so, I mean, he would drill you in the rehearsal, so by the time you come out, it's like, the delivery is something else, it's different,
Powerful. Then in 2011, which then I was part of the choir, I think the very first major concert I did was The Creation.
Okay.
The Creation. And if I remember right, at that point in time, no choir has done the full creation by that choir alone. To further explain, some choirs will do the creation, but then they will import soloists here and there from different places to augment the singing. But this was the first time a Ghanaian choir using its own members as soloists to perform the creation. And this was in 2011, and we have a footage of it. So please, let's watch, because we'll be looking through to see our faces, and then we'll describe the mood in there. So the creation 2011, let's watch this video. We will be right back.
If not misled by false conceits, is to arrive at more than granted is, and more desire to know than know ye should.
Send me Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. This is awesome. Before you go,
it's really funny looking at my face in that video. And guys, this was the very first time. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Thank you. This is the very first time we did a concert at the National Theatre, because we had been doing a concert at the British Council, Kama Conference Center, British Council, Kama Conference Center, but this was the very first time we were at the National Theatre. How was it feeling like? For Eben, you can tell us how you felt, because you were watching by then. But the rest of us, how was it feeling like? Starting from Lina.
This was our first oratorio.
Yeah.
And knowing James. James is a man of excellence.
Perfection.
So he needed to get the right stuff from us.
Okay.
So the preparations and all that, you needed to be on your feet.
Okay.
And you know, when the curtain was opened and we saw the crowd, it was also a challenge to us that, hey, these people have come for nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Therefore, we need to deliver. And to the glory of God, we did.
Great, great.
It was a great experience.
In terms of rehearsals and James pushing us, I think this was the first time we started with our camp meeting.
Yes, and there were all-night rehearsals as well. Some at Osu and the rest, you know.
Yeah, yeah, we come at Legon. Yes,
Yeah.
so we come at Legon. Any memories on that, Papa Ike?
What I remember was, you know, it really pushed us, like, actually the stagecraft and everything we need to put up. Like, we had to now appear very professional, and it unearthed talents like Justice.
Yeah.
You know, he really came up, and others.
Yeah.
But we had to really show up and then do our best.
Yeah.
So it was much of, for me, it was much of tension. Like, you are appearing at the National Theatre for the first time, and it's like, you have to make sure it is right. You're not going back and all that. And I think we pulled it through. God was on our side, and the preparations were quite rigorous, tough.
Very.
Yeah. The camp. You know, when I came to Harmonious, the first thing was like, are people rehearsing all night? Like, when I heard all night, I thought we were going to have prayer meeting. Are people rehearsing all night? Okay, then they will go and rehearse some minutes and then sleep some minutes. But Charlie, you have to be on your feet from the 9 p.m. to like 4:45 or something.
Yeah.
Almost 5 a.m. the next day. Yeah. So it was really rigorous, and we were really tired. But the reward was the reaction from the crowd. By then, Fletcher would tell us that,
Yeah.
So I think it was great. And I just saw immediately that God was just using us to do something different.
Great.
Maybe in Ghana. And I think it really came true.
Yeah. And I think this was the first time we saw a choir in that costume with that stage setup. Now we can look at it and laugh because we've really improved.
No, it's still there. I mean,
at that point, it was the case.
It still looks good, right? You know,
with the tree at the background, the changing effects and all that.
The wedding dress for the ladies.
The costume for the ladies, yeah.
With our rosettes.
We should come back to that.
I think this was the first time I got a black suit up and down.
You know.
We've indeed come far.
Yes, that's very true. And something funny happened. You know, we had a lot of dignitaries coming from the embassies, and we needed brochures for them. And at the time when we were going to process to backstage, the brochure wasn't ready. So I had to tell the director, James, that I want to go to Newtown to pick it. And I was like, no, we have a number. I'm using this number. And we can't lose anybody. And we had to bag, and I'm like, the Chinese ambassador is here. He needs a brochure. So he said, okay, go and come. And when I left, someone called me, a friend who came for the show called me and said, Iman, where are you? I can't see you.
Oh, wow.
And when I heard the production through the phone, I'm like, where are you sitting? I said, oh, I'm in the hall. I said, is this the sound coming out? By the time I came back, I went backstage and then dressed, then joined at the third part. And this was lovely. I think you, Fletcher, will be able to tell us from your perspective, because then you were part of the audience.
Yeah, it was, I had goosebumps all the way.
Okay.
Goosebumps all the way. I'm saying that, you know, the sound that the choir produced, apart from the sound, you could tell that members were committed to what they were doing.
Okay.
You could tell, I mean, the stagecraft. I don't know who managed to do that, whether it was from the team from Harmonious Chorale then or...
So there was an expert at the National Theatre,
Yeah.
Okay.
coupled with Justice, you know.
Also, he started way back.
Yeah.
So
started way back.
we unearthed him there, like the seating and all that, and then the guy at the National Theatre also helped with the artwork at the back and all that. We described what we wanted, and he brought his own ideas into it, and then
The lighting was fantastic.
Because we are singing about creation, right?
Yeah.
And so we needed to depict nature and you know, tell the story through the music as well.
Yeah. So it was at creation that Papa Ike discovered me. Yes, because myself and Justice, I think Mark Yababachi, were part of
so a group of
the committee.
Very powerful.
And I remember putting, then I wasn't working, and I remember putting on my CV that I was the director of operations for
and you really were, because this was something big, you know.
Yeah. And my first interview, when I was asked what I was doing, I told them I was director of operation for Harmonious Chorale event, the creation. And it was on my CV.
And it's that big, you know.
And that was the bargaining chip for my first job, because at that point they were looking for someone with a marketing background. Even though I didn't have a marketing background, I could talk. So that was sorted. But they also wanted somebody with events background. And I pushed in Harmonious Chorale. So that is my story. And that is where how far we have come as a choir. How individual talents came together, vocally, administratively. We'll come to that and all.
I remember the MC on the night. That was what's his name again? Unique FM.
Abeku
Dennis. Yes, he was the MC then.
Okay.
I remember him telling the audience, let's wait till the first part's over before
we clap.
They couldn't help it.
The music that was coming out, trust me. I mean, not everyone knew the whole, you know, customers and all when it comes to classical music. Everyone just had to clap. I ended up even clapping. And at one point, then everyone just be like, no, relax, wait. It was fantastic, and we thank God.
Yeah. And I think for this concert, because I missed the first two parts, I also saw things which were happening at the background. We had Professor Sechibedu directing the lighting on stage.
Wow.
Because talking about creation, in the beginning there was chaos, and he was directing the lights. So a lot of things went on. If the birds are flying, he would say, okay, let's give it this color, let's do this, and he was doing all that. So this was like a full package and a full experience for the Ghana choral music industry. This thing hadn't been seen before. Hitherto, it was just black and white, come and stand there, sing and go.
But a lot went into it.
Yes, a lot of thoughts, I think, went into this. And kudos to Professor Sechibedu. And something funny happened. I was at the back and I saw a guy holding the score. And I think his purpose was to mark what they were doing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes, I know the person. Yeah, way back then I know the person. Now I know the person, and I think that person was kind of a fault finder. So I stood there watching, and he closed the book because he couldn't keep up. He's an organist, so he wanted to see whether the organist would make some mistake, but he was following, but no, he couldn't keep up. That was just by the way, and it's a lovely memory. I think after 2011.
No, you said something up there initially. You talk about a fundraiser.
Fundraiser.
They should hear that.
Yes, okay. So just the week before the concert, we were invited to participate in a fundraiser, I think for some children with disabilities, and we weren't the organizers, but we were able to sing to his fans. We got there, everything was set up, and nobody showed up. And it was only the kids, children with disabilities, who were there in the auditorium. In fact, our morale was down. And I remember ED telling us that, look, whatever we do here has the possibility of affecting us the following week. And our job is to sing. So we are going to sing as if the whole auditorium is full. You know how kids behave. They can't sit idle. But all throughout the singing, the room was quiet. The kids were seated listening to the music.
Angels are descended.
Yes. I personally remember this to be one of the moments that Harmonious Chorale did something great. It is just unfortunate that we don't have any recording, any picture of it, but my soul was excited, my spirit was high, and everything that happened on that day was just on point. Then I knew the following week was going to be great. Yeah, so that was some background story we had over there. This was 2011. We've made a statement. It's like every year we raise the bar, and the following year we had our pre-Easter concert, 2012.
Marking the 5th anniversary as well.
Yeah, pre-Easter concert 2012. Pre-Easter concert 2012, and Free Sensations. Yes, that was the time we went there, and the famous song. Who will remember? Yeah. I think
Eddie
shedding tears.
Yeah. It was Easter.
All shedding tears.
Our producer will look for that video for us. People, you need to sell me. It was powerful. Yeah.
Shedding of tears.
Yeah. And then you see, I want to say that it looks like anyone who is committed to Harmonious Chorale, whether it be through singing or using your other gifting, all of us here, I mean, the three of you, you've used most of your creative minds to run Harmonious Chorale administratively. And it's as though even though you were using your skill, you've gained more skill for doing that.
I was coming to that.
Yeah, you've gained more skill for doing that. And we all have stories to share. So right after watching this video, Dibon, you need to tell me, it's 12 minutes long. I'll plead with our audience. The video is still on YouTube and Facebook because of time. Let's do like 3-4 minutes. I'm cutting the part which I talked and preached. I'm cutting that portion.
Yeah.
So just bear with us because of time. We have a lot of videos to run through as we are talking about the story of Harmonious Chorale. So let's go and do Dibon, you need to say me. But before then, let's take a look at the advert for that concert. Let's take a look at the advert. Apologies, that was the advert for pre-Easter concert 2015. So this was how we were producing our advert, amateurly, but now Harmonious Chorale, we've come a long way. So let's go back to the video we're talking about pre-Easter concert 2012, College of Physicians and Surgeons, Diponieni Tiseme by James Barikama. We'll be right back, don't go anywhere. Tearing moments, the tearing choir, led by Edward Opare Ado. You know, Edward has some funny thing he does. I mean, he can create jokes for all of us to laugh, some comments or with his gimmicks. Initially, personally, I thought it was one of those things. But I realized, no, Edward will not sacrifice the voice, the singing, to do that. Then I saw our director also wiping the eyes. I'm like, no, something is happening.
Holy Ghost
right here.
Definitely.
Wow.
It was a different feeling altogether. I mean, being on stage, finishing the song in particular, again, and you know, listening to the words of the song,
Yeah.
right from the very beginning, listening to the chords that were being played,
Yeah.
and how Eddie just took the solo from the beginning.
Yeah.
It just took me to a different place.
Yeah.
Honestly, at the point I didn't know where I was on stage. It was something else.
Yeah.
This is when you could feel God's presence actually there, and that's how songs work.
Yeah.
That's what I always say about Harmonious Chorale. It's all about administration.
Yeah.
It's not just about coming out to just sing for people to hear your voices or how sweet they are, but it's about ministering to the people out there. So that night was something else.
Yeah.
And funny enough, after the concert, we didn't talk about that moment because everyone was in a different
Mood.
zone, or a different mode
Yeah.
at that point in time.
Yeah.
So you can't even recollect what happened.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
I personally, because of what the director told me to do, the last rehearsal he told me, and so he made me do a mock run, and it was extempo. And
The day was different.
on the day, because I couldn't repeat everything, all I wanted to do was to rather speak along the lines of the song as I was ministered. But I will be honest, on that day, the tension I got before the program was too much, because I realized that the audience seated were far less than the audience who would be watching, because GTV, the van, the live streaming van was packed outside. So I'm like, no, this is going on national telly. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? And once I got there,
That was the preacher.
yeah, it just took off.
Wow.
It just took off.
Ima, is that you?
That's me. This was me,
Nigerians will say, "See head."
size waist 28. This was me, yeah. Now I'm 34.
Ooh.
You
34.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
So I know why you're
34 and coming down.
No,
Now, I'm not going up. Yes, so this is what I was saying about unearthing talent in Harmonious Chorale. Yes,
Yeah.
this was my biggest platform ever in terms of speaking.
Yeah,
and this is how far God has brought
I remember, like you said, the mock preaching that you did at rehearsal.
Yeah.
It was like a scripted one that you had.
Yeah.
And it was totally different on the day.
Yeah.
And that's how God works.
Yeah.
It's not about what you want to do, it's about what he wants you to do.
Yeah.
What he wants you to, tell his people. Yeah.
Wow. Faith anniversary concert. So right from 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Faith anniversary, we had our concert. And this concert was also done at the College of Physicians and Surgeons. Yeah. For pre-Easter concert, with the place was not the place was not overfull.
Yeah.
But for the Faith anniversary concert, after the concert, the administrators of College of Physicians and Surgeons said that
no way
we can't use the hall again.
Never.
Yeah. So
we have overgrown the hall.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Imagine if there was COVID at that time.
At that time.
Yeah. We had overgrown the hall.
Yeah.
Because I remember
people were seated on the stairs, people were seated on the floor.
We had to, I think about an hour or so to the concert, we had to go and get more chairs. We had to rent more chairs. We had to rent some that we haven't paid for.
Yeah.
We had to pay for that after the concert.
Yeah.
And when we finished, this gentleman called us and was like, no, not just Harmonious Chorale, but no choir perform here again. We need to make sure no choir performs here because the overflow was just
too much. And it's all by the grace of God.
Yeah.
It's all by the grace of God. And this is where I think, we'll take that video, but this is, I want to go in a bit into the structure of Harmonious Chorale, the organizational structure, because Papa Ike, you were the first administrator. And by then, you were doing everything. You were the secretary, you were the administrator, you were the PR. You were everything.
The 1 month.
But then, as the choir was growing, you started changing things and delegating some responsibility. Do you remember some of the things you did? And I think that fell on Eben, and then it moved before it came to Lena.
That's what this thing here. So, if I should just start, like the way Harmonious Chorale has grown from the beginning, I remember when we set up, we were looking for, and as I said, the founder or the executive director, he loves excellence. So every time he's learning from the best practice. So it's like, what can we do? Yeah. So I remember it started with the structure. The whole structure started with a constitution.
Yeah.
And I keep pushing you. You like pushing it to me, the administrator. I also like pushing it to other people. So we just set up a committee, and I remember two powerful people in the committee, Lina, and then again Justice.
Okay.
So we sat down. They brought constitutions, and then we fashioned it out. It was just formidable. We took out, the constitution that we got. I wouldn't really say where we got it from, even though I don't know whether it's plagiarized. But then in the end, we took out what we felt wasn't really fit for our purpose, and then we inserted what we thought was good for a contemporary choir.
Okay.
And that's how it started. And then I loved structures. Let things work. So I used to tell Amma or James that if you're going to take any money, give the money a name. That was my popular slogan. So give the money a name. So don't just take any money. Give the money a name. So right from the beginning, we had the idea of setting up, for instance, a bank account, which was in the Constitution anyway. So we just followed what the Constitution was saying.
Yeah.
And if I should say, stickler of rules. So if the rule is saying this, let's just go by it.
Okay.
And then in the process, too, as I'm saying, the talents were there. Yeah. Like if you say somebody should bring constitution, talk about processes. The lady is sitting right here. So I was just tapping. So that's my talent. I tap from wherever I could get. So I would just tap from her, tap from Justice, tap from everybody.
Yeah.
So things needed to be done.
Yeah.
I had to just tap who should do it. I remember part of the structures was, in the end, we're having now our 1 or 2 or 3 albums.
Okay.
And we had to even outsource the selling of the album. We realized that we gave it to members or others to go and sell. We realized that the accounting is a bit difficult. So again, it boils down to structure. So what can we do to make the team more professional? So we set up those things. Yeah. But let me be humble and say that in the end, as we're doing that, I knew that the choir had to grow past me.
Okay.
So I used to always say that Harmonious Chorale is an institution. It's not just a choir. And lo and behold, it's really now an institution.
Yeah.
So thank God, those who came after me.
Sitting right next to you.
Yes, It's like that. I mean, it's so nice. Fletcher took it up, and then he took it to a different level. Yeah. As to how he did it, in fact, I'm going to pass the baton to him. And how Lina has also taken it to another new level. Yeah. I knew she had it, but then as to how he did it, I mean, they can tell you. But what I can say is that I just loved to stick with the rules, and James wanted the best. Yeah. So he was bound to follow what we're doing, and he was also bringing his input. And
I think that's one thing I like about him. He's not more of an hands-on person. He's a hands-off. He picks you. This is what you're supposed to do. Bring me the results. Because we have many other groups where the executive, the founder, the executive director, doubling as the finance.
Arranger, composer, organizer.
Yeah, the same person is the financier. The same person is everything is vested into just one person. So I think your time, and I think to Iben's time, we had Edith.
Edith was the
finance person.
In fact, I've now tapped him to something else. That's what I do.
Okay.
I mean, she was just fit for the job. That's the. What's the name I should give her? She's the policewoman. So she called me. So she called me Isaac. This money is for what? So now I have to also speak to James, find what the money is really for, and then see how we can present the books for the members to agree to it. I mean, when we present, so it's like she was really like a gatekeeper for us as well. So things were bound to follow others. So, so as I keep saying, it wasn't just me. Yeah. The guys around, and let me just say this to end that the success of the choir also is hinged on the commitment of the members, not just in the singing, but anything you give them to do. Okay. They just do it to perfection. Okay. And that's what really makes the choir work.
Yeah, the thing is that if you don't do it to perfection,
you have your. Let me not say.
Something will happen to you. Yeah, you'll be changed, or because every time, every two. Okay, let me not go ahead. For you, the very first time you tasked me was for me to be some sort of shadow secretary. Because you told me that you were not.
In fact, I don't like writing.
Yes,
that's the secret of me.
That's how I started. But then when
I love to just share the ideas.
When Iben became the admin, I think you introduced the substantive secretary, right, during your time. So tell us your era, how it was like.
Okay, first of all, I didn't even know I was going to be administrator, or I was even going to be nominated for that position. Okay. When we got to rehearsal that day. Okay. I went there as a normal member, as always, to go and sing and then take part in the elections. Then a few minutes before nominations went out, I called them my shadow cabinet, my shadow team. They called me outside.
And we were all bass singers, right?
We were all bass singers.
Oh, okay.
We had some tenors in there. I remember Madbuachi was there, one of my shadow ministers. I had Justice there. Prince Frimpong was in there as well. Took me outside. Like, Fletcher, you can do this. I'm like, do what? Administrator. I was like, I mean, what's going on? Like, who said you can do it? Yeah. So just do it. If there's any backing, we'll back you. I was like, okay, fine. Yeah. Just take my name then. Okay. And then, I became administrator, and the rest followed. I had that team with me every single step of the way. Okay. Before I brought anything on the floor, when I say the floor, I'm talking about executive meeting or executive committee, I talked to these guys because you're serving the people, you're for the people. Yeah. And these guys are part of the people. Yeah. They hear stuff from the people. Yeah. So they come to me and tell me, we need to do this. This must go this way. This is not going well with members. Let's see how best we can do this. Okay. And then I'll take it to the executive meeting. We'll debate on it. And then, by God's grace, God being so good, I get majority backing me. Yeah. And so I had a secretary, Eunice. Okay. Eunice was my secretary. Yeah. So I was tasked to get a secretary. I was like, why not? We need a secretary in there. And Lina was my PRO at the time.
Yes, so that was when...
She doesn't remember.
Yes, I do remember. That was when the choir was really transforming from just one small management team to a broader base. I think between you and your brother, Charles, we had a large base of leaders, but that brought its own with it its own inherent challenges. True. So by the time we go to Lina's tenure everything has been streamlined. So we are discussing this to see the stages at which we have transformed in the last 14 years. Many organizations would have remained the same way.
Yeah, true.
But then as the times are going, we need to keep changing and adapt. Lena was the PR.
And for Charles, I think
you double for Charles, PR coordinator or something.
The coordinator then was like Rollins Ike said, he was doing most of the stuff. People, you had to, let people do some other stuff to help them as well. So I had David, as my coordinator.
Okay.
But initially, Kennedy was doing coordinator, PR.
Yes, that's true.
We had people, one person doing so much.
Many,
But anyway, so I had that, and I had my part leaders there as well. I had my chaplain there as well.
Chaplain?
Yeah.
Who was the chaplain?
At the time, chaplain.
Look at me.
It was you, of course. I was going back to the alto singer.
Sheila handed over to me.
Yeah. So, and I think part leaders, I had Lawrence.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have Lawrence, and I had Aubrey.
Aubrey was your part leader, okay.
Aubrey. I had Benjamin.
AJ, yeah.
I had, I think it was Justice. No, Justice wasn't there. Benjamin AJ. Justice was planning committees here and there.
Events.
Soprano, I had Mavis,
okay.
At the time. And they'll tell you, you're there.
Yeah.
We had meetings every single month. Every department has to produce a report for the month. We had meetings in my house. The times that we had it in my bedroom because the AC wasn't working.
Yeah.
It was. It's really grown. It's really grown, and the structure that Isaac put up, I always call him admin. Till now, I still call him admin.
Once admin, always admin.
Always admin. I even call Lena admin as well. So always admin as well. So the structures that he put in place, we just built on those structures.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we just did that. And like you said, it's all about being professional as well. Like you said, it's an institution. It needs to be as a normal choir.
Yeah.
An institution that needs to grow.
Yeah.
So what I introduced, I remember, I've forgotten the man's name, but we had one of these engagements with a lawyer.
Okay.
And he called to find out about our charges and to inquire about the choir. And I spoke to him about our charges, and he agreed to it and said, okay, fine, we'll come to this program and then minister there. Then he said, is that it? I was like, yeah, that's it. Just make the payments to our bank accounts and then we'll be there. He said, no, and you can't work like that.
Okay.
So he came to my office in a suit back then. We sat down at one lunchtime, and he said, you need to get an MOU.
Okay.
MOU, memorandum of understanding, whereby both parties agree to a few terms here and there. I was like, wow, I think that helps.
So that's where it started from?
That's where it started from.
Okay.
He gave me the idea. He said, you know what, go back, draft it, and then bring it back. I went online, spoke to a few friends here and there, bought something, and he was like, yeah, it works. He looked at it, okay, you can change this, change that. And he said, look, things happen. I mean, you've agreed, I've paid you money. Yeah. What happens if you don't show up?
Yeah.
So we put all those things in there.
In the MOU.
Okay, so you pay about this percentage before the concert. The day of the concert, you pay the balance here and there. And yeah, it helped us. I saw one of the MOUs some time back after I'd finished my duties as an administrator. And it's changed. So you can tell that every year or every 10 years, something is added on. We are evolving.
Yeah, we are evolving. Yeah. So now we have to skip one more step because your brother Charles became
Charles took over when
you left.
Became a family.
It wasn't meant to be a dynasty. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was destined to be. I don't know.
Then it came to Lena. If I compare
first female
admin. Still
only female admin.
Yeah. If I compare the structure under her tenure and the structure of Papa Ike, it's the structure alone tells you the choir has grown. Yeah. Because I will look like a structure like, let me be biased a bit, PR. First it was just public PR or PRO, administrative officer. Yeah. But now it's a whole directorate. Directorate with a lot of sub-committees under it. We have the campus ministry, we have the EC, we have the corporate Christian social responsibility, we have the social media, we have the IT, and the whole lot. It tells you things have been organized.
I'm being briefed.
Put under one cluster. And that is the team that Lina is heading. 6 directors, and she's also working with a secretary, and then she reports to the administrative director. So tell us, just in about a few seconds before we go and take the videos, like we are talking too much, so we're going to take the 5th anniversary video, a few seconds, how that changed. You worked with Charles, you worked with Eben, now you are the substantive admin. So you've seen at least 3 changes.
I think I also worked with Isaac. At that time, I was choir mother or something.
Yes, that's true. Choir mother, that's true. Whoa, that's true.
Welfare officer.
Yeah. Okay,
so I have been privileged.
She's always been there.
Everlasting executive.
Most of the time, the brain behind
these strong men.
Okay.
And I must say that I give them all the credit for laying a very solid foundation for the choir from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And you can see the massive transformation.
Yeah.
Now, Harmonious Chorale is a whole organization.
It's an institution.
It's
an institution.
Yes, and to think that one person is managing 6 directorates, and when you see the structure, you realize that things are working.
Yeah.
And because of the massive teamwork, in fact, the strong directors, they give me less headache. I am virtually hanging at the top there. Let me say I'm just a ceremonial administrator because the systems are working.
Okay.
That's all I want to say.
Yeah.
They don't give me any headache.
Okay.
Everybody knows what he or she is about. And of course, Mommy trained us. Mommy stands for excellence all the time. And we've really learnt a lot from her as well. You know, Mommy, if it is not red, she would not say it is red. If it is blue, it is blue. Mommy will say it as it is. And so I must say that this current structure is also involving a lot of our members.
Okay.
Initially, members were a bit distant and it's only the executive handling things, but now they find themselves on committees. So everyone feels part of the ministry.
Even though the executive, the number of executive is smaller, the committees are more, so
everyone is doing something.
Okay.
We even have a costume committee. So we don't just get up and look nice for our programs. And I know that Flesher is there.
You know, I have some videos of how we procure our costumes, and Justice has been fighting me not to release those videos.
Oh, please don't release. It's one of the trade secrets. And you know, I would also say that I am deeply humbled because as the administrator, I tend to receive calls from other choirs.
Okay.
They want to find out, how do you do your stuff?
Okay.
You know, so how is your structure even like?
Not to cut you, we've had 2 students from the university, 1 PhD, 1 master's, understudying Harmonious Chorale as their thesis. And this is not just about the music, but about the structure also. So it means something good is happening, and we thank God for all that.
And not to, you know, leave out the fact that I have also learned a lot as a person. I have developed professionally and also personally because Harmonious Chorale has exposed me to some corridors that hitherto I wouldn't have been able to. I'm being engaged by people, you know, the high and mighty in the society because they need services of, you know, Harmonious Chorale. And so I've also learned to be very professional in our dealings with them, to always project a good image of the choir, and so also make sure that our stakeholder relationships are also solid. Okay, so personally, I've also learned a lot.
Great. So we are going to take our 5th anniversary concert, just 1 video from that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Was in
So that was the 5th anniversary concert, and this was where we started introducing serious choreography into our concerts, like Mei Machia, Yesumi Pesemi Hu, and that High Life, which started with Oye. Yeah. Yes. We started with Oye. We celebrate our God. It's all on YouTube. Just go and grab it. That was 2012. And in 2013, we did our 2nd oratorio, the Book of Elijah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know whether that was the first time it was done in Africa. I don't know about that, because we are fond of doing those things.
Being the
first to do something.
Yeah.
Like the Book of Elijah, the whole Book of Elijah, 2013. One big thing I remember about this program, apart from the excellent singing and the overflow of the National Theatre, was the issue with the men's uniform.
On the day. You had to go to everybody's in costume, right?
Yes. That was the day I first saw Justice cry.
Oh, so what?
Yeah, Justice was weeping. Justice was just in tears, because he has been constantly engaging the guy doing the costume for the guys, and it'll come. Come for this for the instrumentalist. And we got it, so we were hoping it would come. On the D-Day, he told Justice to come for the items.
I went with him. We went to fight.
And then the shop was...
give up mine to one of always.
There was no costume for the guys. So we had to borrow something from somewhere and add something to it. I think that the down was ready, the trousers was ready, but the top was not ready. Yeah. And we had to use something from Oseboatin, an evening with Oseboatin, and we combined it. But nobody saw anything. They just saw a beautiful program.
Yeah, of course.
And we saw over there, Obadiah and Ahab being Edigezi, Kennedy was Elijah, Lodina, and then
Nah was pregnant.
Yeah, heavily pregnant.
Heavily pregnant, yeah.
Yes, was there performing. That was amazing. That was amazing. That was amazing. Any fond memories?
Yeah,
yes.
I have one particular one. For me, I think it's number one on my list when it comes to fond memories with the Harmonious Chorale.
Okay.
It was during the Elijah project as well, and we went camping, I think in Sakmono, I believe. And we had a session where Adakwe came in.
Okay.
Remember, to talk to us about the oratorio Elijah, how it came about, and what Elijah stands for in the Bible and all that. I mean, we knew what the story about Elijah in the Bible, but Adakwe coming in that session actually put more light on that.
Okay.
In terms of the story and then the music.
Okay.
How the composer, and I think that's the first, or I don't know whether the first, or it's the beginning, you had someone singing. Usually you hear the organ playing.
Yeah, the overture. Or the
but this time around,
first.
Kennedy had to start it.
Yeah, before the overture.
And Adakwe took us through all that.
Okay.
And I think right after he was done, the meaning of what we're doing came to light.
Yeah.
And you could tell from the subsequent sessions that we had rehearsing that everyone understood what we're going to do.
Yeah.
That's one of my fond memories.
Yeah.
I don't think we did well with that.
And that's what people need to understand, that our executive director, he's such a perfectionist that he doesn't mind inviting resources on board from outside to give different perspectives. You know, it started with Adakwe, then it came to the late, what's the name?
Harrison. It even started with the creation.
Yes,
creation was Sechibedu, even with the lighting. Yes, coming in Adakwe, and it ran through until we got to Michael Dengan.
Yeah.
So it's like it has been a journey, and each step is a build-up of what we did the previous year. Because the 5th anniversary 2012 was very powerful. How can we do something better? We took the challenge of Elijah, and then we had to scale it up. And viewers can see the video streaming in your shots right away, and just enjoy a little bit of it. All these videos are already on YouTube. Our YouTube channel, Harmonious Chorale Ghana. You can watch it later. We'll go in and out as we discuss the activities preceding Elijah. So let's take a few seconds of Elijah's oratorio. We'll be right back.
Judgments of the
that was the oratorio Elijah by Felix Mendelssohn. The whole oratorio, A to Z, done for the first time, I think in West Africa by Harmonious Chorale. That was powerful. I think after this concert, the whole place was overfilled. This was a concert, yes, I remember. This was a concert where we had to mount screens outside of the National Theatre and bring plastic chairs for people to sit. Powerful. And I think somebody asked me, is Sarkodie having the concert? I said no. I remember that question very well because of the number of people in that auditorium. And the men's issue, the clothing issue was just something else. I think it all gave us good experiences, so we started looking out for more credible ones, even though we had challenges until our final stage. There will also be another issue of the women's clothing when we get to that, when we get to that story. And I think we also did an evening with Osei Boatin. And this video, either we were supposed to get children to sing, and something happened, so we brought in some children to sing. So let's watch this video. We'll be right back. Yes, we were supposed to find children to sing. Oh dear. And we got enough children with good talent in Harmonious Chorale to sing this for us. I think this is the first generation of Harmonious babies. Wow, that's something beautiful. I promise you tomorrow morning I'll post this video of Mofra Danfo Mofraya Wadanfu by Oseboatin on our Facebook page. It's already on YouTube. You can go and watch it after this program. But tomorrow, I promise you, we are going to have it on Facebook. This was hilarious, very hilarious. And you see, it's not just about the odd and discord singing, but it just shows how God loves children, irrespective of what they are. And that is the childlike faith that God is looking for. And by this alone, people were glued to their seats to listen to more of such music. And this is where we also did Hinanime. I mean, it's like Oseboatin's program brought some form of traction to Harmonious Chorale, because we've had several renditions of his songs, but for Harmonious Chorale, his musics were very powerful. What are some of the songs you remember, Oseboatin? Jatabrua. That's what I wanted you guys to pick up, and it's one of the best highest views video on our YouTube channel, Jatabrua.
What I noticed about his music is that, like, every part of it is like you are being preached to. Like, it's a full sermon. Whenever it's a full sermon, so
it wasn't easy for us during rehearsal to this concert, especially for the guys like myself, Justice, trying to learn the tree.
And the words can really be a mouthful. Even the accounts, yes.
Yeah. So our producer will be showing a picture right on the screen. I want you guys to let us know which one is it. Yeah. Yes. So that is the good news we have for you today. Harmonious Chorale, we won the Choir of the Year at the Ghana National Gospel Music Awards. That was organized on 28th of August 2021. So this is just 2-3 days old.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's powerful.
So for the year 2020, under review, Harmonious Chorale was adjudged the Choir of the Year at the Ghana National Gospel Music Awards. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for your support. And this is the second time we are picking up that award. Yes, the first time we went to Kumasi, we picked up the award. Second time to the National Theatre. And thank you for the support. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And God richly bless you. Keep supporting us. And we are going to have this picture on the screen, guys. What do you see? Where was this?
This is Akwa Ibom,
Nigeria.
Yes.
Nigeria.
The first time we went to Nigeria. Yes, Christmas. I think this was in 2014.
Look at Lodina's face.
Yes, and this is where the Guinness World Record was set for the highest number of carol singers.
Yep.
This was the event.
Wow.
Yes, Guinness World Record, and Harmonious Chorale, we were there. I watched this on DSTV in Dr. Jess I's room. I think I've forgotten who was there with me, but she was there, I was there, I think Kennedy was there. I don't know, but I couldn't go because I had exams on that day, so I couldn't travel, and I watched this from home. And this is what I heard the commentator. This on DSTV, Global TV channel. This is what I heard him say. I think, let me paraphrase. We sang a classical piece. I don't know whether it was for "To Us a Child is Born," and then we did Oye. And this is what he had to say. Beautiful transition from that Western classical music to the much loved popular song in Ghana, Oye. And this is not a black person speaking. This was a white person. I don't know how he got that information. And my heart was really, really, really excited to hear that from the commentary and to see Harmonious Chorale performing on that global stage. This was also the event that the choir met Domwen for the first time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, all the way in Akwa Ibom, Nigeria. That was in 2014. That's powerful, guys. Any of you?
I wasn't part of it.
Okay, so all of us here were in there. So
I was always travel averse.
yeah, we will be reporting as we heard them say. So as we saw it on TV, and this was something wonderful. I think in 2019, we went back to Akwa Ibom. Yeah, that's very beautiful, and that's how far we have come as a choir. It's been wonderful. And to continue with what we have been doing, 2015 we did an evening with Asari Bediakon, and that's where we had the video with Jan show becoming very popular. And that point we also had a reduced number of alto singers. And let me let me state this. Let me bring in this because I know some choirs face challenges in that area. And that program, I missed 2 rehearsals, and I was disqualified from stage. So I was passing. No, the fact that you have been disqualified does not mean you can't do anything to support the choir.
It, you know?
And currently, it has done a permanent disqualified stage person, and I love it because there are other things you can do to help the choir.
I appear at concert as gate man.
Yes, the other things you can do to help the choir grow. Even on the day of the event, there are things that needs to be done, and everybody can be on stage. So I think on this day, the executive director of Vocal Lessons Chorale asked me why I wasn't on stage. And I told him, oh, I missed 2. And you know me, I will state the fact, I missed 2 rehearsals. And I was like, 2 rehearsals? Yeah. Then he called me, he put my hands, and he asked me the same question in front of some of his choristers. And I repeated. So this whole thing about having to have the right blend of voices, know the song well, these things are supposed to help us. It's not because somebody hates you or the person doesn't hate you. So if you're a chorister and maybe your technical team or executive director doing some of these things, understand. Yeah, talk to them, but don't get angry. Talk to them, but understand. Maybe have peculiar issues. Yes, it's true. But speak to them. Don't go all offensive and flare up. There are other things we can do for the choir. That is Harmonious Chorale for you.
And you know, James will always tell you that seeking permission doesn't mean you were present.
That's true. Yes, you sought permission out of courtesy. Because you can't just leave just like that, out of courtesy. But it means you're not present. It means that you don't know the song that much. So it means that you're not qualified. Yes, so it's all that. Don't be sad. Find something else to do. And I think personally that's what has made me transform into this off the stage person. Now Justice calls me his production manager. I have loved it. It's not that I have to, but I have. I don't have a choice. We all need to do something at one point in time. And we also had our first Festival of Praise and Worship for Power 1. So go on our YouTube channel and type High Life Medley Harmonious Chorale. You see Festival of Praise and Worship for Power 1. That's a powerful medley by the 2016. And that was to celebrate Dr. Joyce Aye's 70th birthday. So that's how come we had Festival of Praise and Worship. Let's indulge Harmonious Chorale a bit. Okay, let's indulge. Whatever will happen should happen. We started with pre-Easter concerts, and many choirs started theming their programs, Easter programs, towards that line. Along the line, we transformed. We the same Easter concert, but then the concept was heaven.
Heaven, yeah. That was
yes, that was in 2018. But the same pre-Easter concert, we transformed it to Festival of Praise and Worship. Because looking at the song selection and the broad theme, the whole thing about Easter is to celebrate the gift of God's love to us. And yeah, we had those things falling on other choirs with praise, with festival with worship in the concert and all those things, and that was beautiful. And
Christmas.
Christmas also.
We changed the name to what?
Christmas pageant. Yes, and all that. Now we are running with a beautiful Christmas. Yes, once in a while we come back and do the traditional festival of 9 letters and
dynamism.
Yes, so that is the depth that we bring in as Harmonious Chorale. It's never a dull moment with Harmonious Chorale. Yes, we can assure you it's never a dull moment. Then in 2017, another bombshell happened on the continent of Africa, South and North America, Europe, Asia, China, and Australia, and all the other islands. We are talking about a never seen before concert, Joseph and his brethren. Joseph and his brethren, 2017. We couldn't find any material or real good, not any around, but Joseph and his brethren by Harmonious Chorale in 2017. Before an orchestra recorded it in US in 2019. I have that fact. This was because when we were uploading to the distribution channels, we were told that we had used the mastered instrumentals of that orchestra, and I had to dispute it and show them video evidence that we recorded this and posted on YouTube before that orchestra did it. Wow. So it tells you that the production was so good. And we have a video that will be showing. I think the final song, Hallelujah, will be showing that video. But there was something, I think I was with you, Lina, that night. The night before the concert, the ladies' uniforms were not ready. Okay. The night before the concert.
It can be a nightmare.
Yes. The night before the concert. We went there and it was only one uniform that had been sewn. And instead of the gathers that we would have, it was A-shape, pencil shape, and most of the materials had been cut, but has been sewn.
Explain yourself.
It was a nightmare. I think that the first nightmare was when we opened the book, the score itself.
Okay.
You know how it was like an orchestral score.
We had 8 weeks.
And we had 8 weeks. So that
from
alone
was
a nightmare. And James said that we are doing this.
Yeah.
So that was the first nightmare. And then the second nightmare was when we realized that the ladies' dresses were not ready. And we attended the funeral of one of our members. That was on Saturday.
Yeah.
And at that funeral, a new designer had to come and take measurements of the ladies at the funeral.
Let's make mention of her. Black Pearls are wrong.
Black Pearls. So Black Pearls now came to take fresh measurements, and then they cut fabric from the previous designer.
Yeah.
So, and she had 24 hours.
Yes.
To deliver the dresses of how many ladies?
I don't know what I mean. 18.
The video is there.
Yeah.
So, some of us had to turn into overnight apprentices.
Yes, I was doing the goddess.
Including the men, yes. Imam was there. All of us had to now go and do something.
Yeah.
Some are sewing, some are hemming, and some are ironing, some are attaching the stiff to it.
Yeah.
And we spent the whole night. If you have to do this kind of ministration the next day, you should at least sleep soundly the night before to regain that energy. But still, God glorified himself on that day.
And I think on that day, you were committing between North Kadeshi and National Theatre. They will call that 6 is ready.
Come and get
it. Wow. You drive. Somebody will think, oh, why can't you send a taxi? It was even too risky to send a taxi. We just want to have it ourselves.
Get hold of it.
We couldn't risk it.
So Lina will come for the first 6, drive back to the National Theatre, wear it, and then come back again. By the time we come back, another 6 is ready, and up and down until the program.
I still don't believe that I managed to be on stage.
Yeah.
So if you see the choir in costume, it's not easy.
It was a beautiful costume. The video will be shown, so you see beautiful costume.
And then the men's makeup.
Wow.
I couldn't identify something.
Dressing like Egyptian, the pharaoh, and all those stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. That was beautiful.
We actually had a first costume for the guys. It was blue. It was supposed to be blue,
Yeah.
Blue and gold.
Yeah.
And then the team were like, no, it wouldn't work. We need to go. It was just a normal kaftan.
Yeah.
Then we were like, nah, we need to get something that actually depicts what happened back in the days during Joseph and his brethren. So yeah, we came up with the black one. And
we had an issue for this concert. And maybe let's apologize once again. So the issue was that many people bought the tickets before time. And they thought Ghana man time, we wouldn't start the program early.
I was at the gate, right?
Okay.
Hell.
So they didn't come, those who had a ticket didn't come early.
And those who bought tickets.
And we brought the actual number of tickets to be, the remaining tickets to be sold at the gate. But after selling those tickets, there were too many people still available without tickets.
Even at the backstage, Charlie.
And you see, it has also rained in the afternoon. So I don't know. We are not blaming anybody, but it was an error on our part in general.
It was part of the learning curve for
learning
us.
curve. So what those at the gate had to do was that, okay, then let's sell the brochure as tickets to allow those people to enter.
Yeah, it was a quick
now
decision.
These people come in,
No
then
seats.
those who had the actual tickets came late and they didn't have a place to stand. And the whole place was packed. The whole place was packed.
too much heat.
The whole place was packed. The whole place was packed. And people were complaining about it. I mean, those were just, let's say, elderly people who felt they had stood for a long time, but we explained to them, got a place for them to sit. So after the program, I went to some of the people that I saw, that I knew, sitting on the aisles and all those ones. I started apologizing. No, don't apologize. Once we were in the auditorium, even if we were going to stand to witness this, we were okay with it.
If I'm not mistaken, that was our first, I believe, sold out concerts from all the outlets that we actually did.
Yes. Yeah. By the time it was Bachuna Total, Kuala, Silverbell Cinemas, every place was sold out. And that's a testimony that we can give to the glory of God. Yeah. So Joseph and his brother, let's watch this video in its entirety. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Amusa, Lodina, Eugenia Osei. These were the top two soloists we had for it, Joseph and his burden. And everything.
You missed the name. It's not Ebenezer. It's what? Ebenezer. Otherwise,
Eben is trouble. And now it's not Lodina Eugenia Osei, it's Lodina Eugenia.
Derby. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
These were the two leads for the whole production, and they had to learn everything off head.
8
weeks from start to finish.
Ketsi James Varick.
No interviews, so just pause to start with. No previews, nothing. Just
wow. Wow, this is beautiful. The full oratorio, Joseph and his Brethren, is on our YouTube channel. Just look for the playlist, Joseph and his Brethren. All the videos are there. Enjoy. It's a wonderful production. At the time the program ended, a friend told me that he called, I wouldn't mention him, but he called a production house. The production house has been organizing great events, including something that ends with MA. Yes, that you guys, where are you? Come and see this. We want to see this choir on your stage sometime. Yeah, but we believe we will get there. We will get there.
Definitely.
This was 2017. Yeah, we will get there. The following year is when we went for the World Choir Games in South Africa.
That means you passed there.
Yeah, so it's been amazing from day one. So after Joseph and his Brethren, the other thing we had to do was to celebrate the 10th anniversary concert. And this was touted as the biggest choral event in Ghana at that time.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nyamiye
concert. 4-hour plus event, trended in the top 20 videos on YouTube. It doesn't happen for such events. Everybody was talking about Nyamiye concert. There is an ad for the Nyamiye concert. An ad for the Nyamiye concert. Our producers will look for that ad. This brings about the creativity that we have. The ad for the 10th anniversary concert is a whole new vibe, a whole new creativity that we brought in. The team that created it was so special. Let's watch this. We will be right back.
Hello, welcome to Prime News on SLM TV. My name is Chorale Music. In this edition, multiple award-winning choral group, the Harmonious Chorale, is set to perform the biggest ever choral music event in Ghana.
Mommy, come and see. They're playing your favorite song on TV.
What's all this noise going on inside the house?
Your favorite choir is on TV.
The biggest ever choral music event set to be performed by the Harmonious Chorale is dubbed Nyamiye Concert, celebrating a decade of God's goodness. This will happen on Sunday, 29th October 2017 at the Accra International Conference Center.
Yay! Harmonious Chorale is here.
Wow, this time the whole family is going.
Yes, me too. I'll invite all my friends. Okay. Let's listen to the details.
The time for the Nyamiye concert is 4 p.m. Tickets goes for a cool 30 Ghana cedis. Tickets available at Silverbird Cinema, Accra Mall, Airport Shell, Community 8 and 11 Shell, Kuala Osu, Bachuna Total, and Salt and Light Ministries office at Billingpay. Call 0276389747 or 0246826335. See you there.
This whole script was written by Harmonious Chorale. Yes, internal team. The thought, the plot, everything. And then the IT team had to do the animation.
You guys are a whole production house.
The newscaster was, as in the voice, was myself.
Yeah.
Yes, writing the script for the program. Sorry, for the ad. And then the father was Atu Oponsego.
Officer 1.
The mother was Sarah Alija, Mrs. Sarah Alija now. And then the daughter, Baba Baxin. And then the son was Richmond Lakuzan Aye. Yes, and the voiceover was recorded at Raskiji Productions.
Hey, Raskiji.
Session.
Yeah. And then the IT team had to go and do the animation. And this was the first time something like that had happened, animation for your advert. And it was unheard of. I really remember that day on the executive page why we had to defend the use of animation and not the regular faces.
Which will involve some cash, right?
Yes,
some budget,
it was very expensive.
Yeah.
It was expensive than the usual adverts would have done. Yes, on that day, myself and Prince, defending champions, answering all the questions that will come. I think there was a 10th anniversary planning committee. It didn't happen on the executive page. It happened on the 10th anniversary planning committee. Okay. So it wasn't only executives. There were non-executives who probably thoughts hadn't been shaped to that extent. So back and forth, back and forth. And our financial secretary, they didn't understand why we should do something like this. But lo and behold, she had to give her blessings, and we had to.
It turned out
we had to do this, and it was great. It was great. One of these days, we will share all these videos. It's on YouTube. We'll post all these videos again. And great moments here. This has been and is still ongoing, the story of Harmonious Chorale Part 1. This means that there will be Part 2. Part 2 will be exciting. Part 2, I think we should have our executive director here. We also have our executive chairperson here, and then it's going to be wonderful. So if you see pictures on your screen, I'm charging our guest here to identify the activity. This is very simple. What's happening here?
It's a rehearsal, I think.
It's a rehearsal, yeah.
Auntie Joyce's hall.
Yeah. I think she's praying with us.
Yeah.
Yes, at that moment.
Interesting.
Yes, so who remembers this?
Amanda's?
What's the name? Kuntanasi.
Kuntanasi.
Yeah, Kuntanasi. We went for Amanda's mom.
We pounded fufu and all, right?
Yes, we pounded fufu over there. Yeah. This should be...
we went to Akusumo.
So
this was so special. We went to, Kwame Nkrumah's what?
No, went to
where he used to stay or something.
Yes. There's a
that place
for
is seldom
on the mountain. I've forgotten. It's
a hideout. Like you don't often get people go here.
This should be
Kumasi,
yeah.
This is Great Hall.
Great Hall. So this is Great Hall.
Those pink ties, Charlie.
Yeah, Great Hall.
anniversary concert there.
Pink ties from Kantamantu.
People have been asking, when are we coming to Kumasi? We are coming to Kumasi on 25th of September. Take note. Kumasi 25th September.
Sunny FM Studios. Beginnings of Sunny FM Studios.
Yeah.
And that's the guy. The show
that's
that was
you.
name.
You are there.
Yeah.
Michael. Yeah. We can see. Papa Ike is also there. Who is the lady?
I'm trying to identify.
I'm not getting her. Yeah.
The face is not coming. Okay. The next one.
Hey. This picture, I'm not part of. There's a disclaimer on this picture.
Disclaimer.
I'm not part of those who
This was the first wedding.
who thought of bringing it on.
Yes.
Somewhere in Takrady or something.
One. Yeah, Takrady. The wedding. I wasn't part, but I knew her via university class.
Hey,
so
Sir James.
I knew you guys were there.
Hey, you guys, you're in trouble for this picture.
Yeah, the same Kia Abayate, Victoria. Yeah. Fifth anniversary concert. Yes, before the event.
Surgeons,
yeah, before the event. This program, what is
this?
It?
Kama
Conference Center. I don't know whether it's an evening with soloists or Timafo Ata.
I think wasn't that
We don't know.
No.
We had already used this costume before you took it here.
Yeah. This costume was for Nilavanan.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had used it before.
We came
so
here.
it should be we don't know which program it is.
But what I remember is that after this program, we decided not to go to Kama again because the police got filled.
Yeah. This was also another program that we attended.
Like Easter or something.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
I think this one we went to campus.
Legon.
Yeah, for a program.
Okay. Okay. Great. Wonderful. It's been a beautiful evening talking about the story of Harmonious Chorale, and we did up to our 10th anniversary concert. Before we leave, we will give you one more video from our 12th anniversary concert as we prepare to celebrate the 15th anniversary itself. So for the month of September, we are coming to Kumasi 25th September. 25th September, we are coming to Kumasi. All other details are on the Harmonious Chorale Facebook page. I think it's Blessed Family Chorale, inviting Harmonious Chorale, celebrating our executive director, James Varick Ama. Yeah. And I think I have a message from Kennedy. So that picture at Kama Conference Center was a Christmas concert at Kama Conference Center. Yes, Kama Conference Center from Kennedy. Kennedy Dankwa, also a founding member of the quartet, has been with the choir from day one. Yes. Yeah. So it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. So few words, closing words. Let me start from Papa Ike. Papa Ike, you are part of Harmonious Chorale, but not an active member. You are now more like in the Hall of Fame, in
the so-called.
Yes, yes. But almost every time we see you at our events, helping around. let me ask this, few words, then we close. Have you ever regretted joining Harmonious Chorale?
Never ever. In fact, I feel sad I'm not able to join all the time due to my schedule of late. But as Lina said, I never regret. It's really helped me. I've learned a lot, and I take it elsewhere.
Okay.
Sometimes I get impatient because the things you're able to do in Harmonious Chorale without understanding, you get somewhere, you need to really explain to them why you need to do, or that's the only frustration. Otherwise, I don't regret at all.
Yeah.
It's been a great...
Yeah.
And I still want to come back.
Great. we are waiting for you. Yeah, we wait for you. Eben and Lina, you are still members of Harmonious Chorale. Yes. The fact that you are still members means you've not regretted.
Yes, it's been a journey, really.
Great one, beautiful one.
It's still a journey.
We've learned a lot.
Yeah.
You know, Sir James is always ready and willing to teach.
Yeah.
If only you would humble yourself and also, you know, sit under his tutelage, you would go far. Yeah. And I think that we haven't regretted, not 1 millisecond, being members of Harmonious Chorale. And we thank God for how far he has brought us as a ministry.
Yeah. What many people don't know is that he specifically did an MBA in HR because of Harmonious Chorale. Yeah, when I joined and I heard that story, that's when I realized, no,
that tells you a lot.
Yes, he wanted to grow the choir by growing the human beings, because these are the assets that you have. It's been a wonderful journey. And as a person, there have been times I go to organizations and I'm doing a presentation to broker a deal, and you know, there were places to be tense. At the informal session, you need some icebreakers. And many a times, when I throw in the card of Harmonious Chorale, it works. Because somebody over there might have heard about Harmonious Chorale. The biggest one that happened to me, not thousands of dollars for my company, that person said, I read your stories on my job online about your exploits in South Africa. Then I told him I wrote that story. And that did the magic.
Wonderful.
Yes. So thank you guys.
We thank Sir James
for the opportunity,
carrying the vision. We know that he has had to sacrifice a lot.
It's a burden to carry all that vision.
A lot to even stay in the country because of Harmonious Chorale, because we know he had opportunities to pursue other dreams, but he believed in this vision. And so we thank God for his life, and we ask God to continue to bless him.
We will write all those questions down.
I'm sure he'll be here to tell his story as well.
He will tell the story.
Yes.
The not so pleasant part of the story. It's like over here we've spoken about all the pleasant part, but there have been not so pleasant parts.
We're not perfect.
Yes. We mentioned a few. Ministering to an empty auditorium.
A few challenges
and all that.
A nightmare before.
It's been wonderful, guys. It's been wonderful having you with us. It's always a special time to come your way. And myself and the team of admins. I don't know what. Maybe I'll take your blessings. So.
Maybe next time Charles can join remotely.
Yeah, Charles can join us.
Yes.
Next time Charles can join remotely.
Yeah.
God has used us.
We want to hear from him as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Charles. That's your bro.
Hi, Charles.
Yeah. In the UK, I hope everything is okay.
Oh, my
What's up, mate? Yes, stay blessed, stay blessed. We have one more video for you, and after that, we sign off. I wouldn't come back, so just enjoy that video. And this has been made possible courtesy Divine Media. For all your live streaming events, look nowhere. Divine Media HD. The HD stands for Heavenly Definition. Is what you need. I think. Eben, you were wondering what the HD meant, right? Yes, heavenly definition.
Wonderful.
Divine Media.
Not high definition.
That takes me back to your wedding, you know. Anyway.
Yes, so it's always a good time to be with you. My name is and will always be Osanyako Emmanuel. One whom Jesus loves is what you can also refer me as. Please stay safe, keep safe. And we meet same time next month for another edition of 15 to 15. It's bye for now.
Oh,